Hi guys, so I've had a couple of people who've bought this board off me go through a little bit more detail in a video of how it's fitted into the car and how you interface it with the footwell and how you splice it into the basenor controller kit. So this is just hopefully a quick video. I can't go through everything, and there's a bit of common sense involved, but quick video on where to tap off and where to go from. So look, we turn the camera around. So this is right hand side drive from in the UK. Right hand footwell, so this is the driver's footwell. That's the footwell light that I've just prized out with a screwdriver. You can see down here that are the Tesla cables coming into it, a grey and a black cable. In my vehicle, the grey cable is the positive feed, so that's the one that you'd want to tap off to get the positive feed from the footwell light. What I did is take the light to pieces and actually solder onto the pins inside there. I soldered on a red and a black lead. You don't need the black, but that was just my way of doing it. I didn't have any tap connectors, so I took the light to pieces and soldered on. You can do it either way. You only need the positive light feed. You don't need the ground. The ground wire is shared with a cigarette lighter, so we just use that ground instead. So either tap off the grey wire there, or take the light to pieces and solder onto the positive pin, which you'll have to work out which one's positive. But it's the one that links up to the grey wire. Then that wire, this sort of vent panel over the pedals came out with a screw and a couple of push pins, but I think you probably do it without taking that out. That wire goes up through that hole, around to centre console. It runs up underneath this piece of trim here. I just pushed it up under here. I didn't have to take this trim off, so it's just pushed up under that trim all the way back. I don't know why I carry a 2009 Road Atlas when we've got sat-nav and Google Maps nowadays, but it just sort of part of the car. And then it comes up here. I did just unpop one of the clips at the back here. If you push the driver's seat back or the passenger seat back, you can get yourself a bit of space there, and there's just one push clip there. It's just so those wires just fed up there rather than going all the way around that bend. And they come into here. So from there, this is what we've got in here. So we've got the cigarette lighter plug that we got from basenor. That's the controller. That was the original wire. All I've done is cut it in half, stripped it down carefully, bared the ends of the wires, and into this control board. It's labelled on the ones I send out. Into the control board, you take your 12 volts from your cigarette lighter. Your 12 volts in, the red wire goes into the left-hand one, and your ground goes into the second one. You want your red coming out of the third one and your ground coming out of the fourth one, and that gives you the feed into your little control box for the LEDs. And then the last wire, the signal wire, goes into the right hand side here, and that is the red wire that's come up in that group of 4 wires from the footwell light. The ground wire's just terminated there. The yellow and blue don't connect to anything anyway, so I've only used the red wire. That comes up and goes into the 5th terminal there. Once you've done that, terminate it, put some strain relief on this and stick it in a box, and that's it. You're ready to go, and that should just work. Whenever the footwell lights are on and the 12 volt socket is on, it will turn on your LED kit. Hope that helps anybody who's trying to install one of these things. The only other thing that I've done now differently to my setup is originally I put the dashboard tube I set up underneath the vent, up in that slot underneath the vent there, and it looked quite good, to be fair. But what happened eventually is the plastic started to warp, especially in the hot weather, and it started to just droop down, and every 3rd or 4th day I'd have to go and reset it and push it back up, and it got a bit annoying. So I took it out of that, and I've just laid the strip along here now. So I don't know if you can see, that is now, it's not in the funny mounting tube. I just pulled the fibre out of the mounting tube, and I've laid it along there. It comes along here. It just, I had to wedge this a bit to get it down through that gap, but it just goes down there, and the other end it goes down and fits onto the LED light source. I'm going to order another light source and stick a light source on each end of it, because I don't think it's quite bright enough as it comes. But I've just ordered one of those from AliExpress, and hopefully that'll be here in another few days. I suppose I ought to just show you how to take this switch gear apart as well. The cigarette light socket here has an annoying habit when it's plugged in of the center console tray hitting on this button and turning it off and on when you don't want it to turn off and on. So in order to avoid that, I've gone in here and disabled the switch. So what you do is you unscrew the tip off the cigarette lighter. That comes out with its fuse as well, and then you have to unscrew this little Phillips screw there. So if you give me 2 ticks, I'll get that out. So that just leaves us with a bare cigarette lighter socket. All I did in here was to solder together that pin and that pin, effectively joining those 2 red wires together. It means the switch still works, the switch still operates, but it doesn't actually turn anything on or off. It's non-functional. The LED still lights up. Anyway, that helps to stop you from accidentally hitting that button. Okay, cheers guys, bye.